here inside the train. Grabe. I'm so excited, guys. First time ko sumakay ng train. So, welcome all aboard! Hi guys! Here in the Grand Canyon Railway. So we're going to... We're here in Williams. Woo!
Wow.
We're here in Williams, Arizona, and we're going to ride the Grand Canyon train all the way to the Grand Canyon. So excited! I'm going to the South Rim Grand Canyon. So it will be 2 hours and 15 minutes there. Going up, and then we will be back around 2:30 something. So it's a 4 hours ride. So this is my first time to ride the train for long hours. See ya!
We go out here and catch the train right here.
We're going to first class.
Let's see, to Bucky, I believe. Let's see, where am I? Cafe Car, Arizona. Bucky would be 2 more cars down.
Oh,
there's
wow.
a young man standing in the
Okay.
vestibule. He'll let you
Okay, all right, right before the dome.
Yeah, so this is the Arizona. The next car is the Bucky.
All right, thank you.
Whoa, we're so close to the dome.
Yeah, but we're so close to the rear of the train.
So they have a show there, guys, before you ride the train. So we're going to ride here, guys.
Forward right over there. Forward right over there. Okay. Says your legs.
Okay.
And when you're going,
Watch your step. Yee! We're here on the train. Wow! They were looking for 0 to 2D. Hi guys!
I had somebody ask, so I thought I would tell. Do you guys know what car you're riding in today? Who is that? Anybody know?
somebody from days of old.
No. Bucky O'Neill is me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. It's just some dude. I'm just kidding again. Bucky O'Neill's an interesting history. He was the genesis behind the Grand Canyon Railway, a line to the Grand Canyon. He was also one of the first permanent settlers at the Grand Canyon, and he wanted the railroad to come up to his beloved Grand Canyon. Problem is, he knew he could never get anybody up here just on passenger service alone. Railroads need freight. That is the lifeblood of the railroad. So he spent about a decade on the East Coast trying to find an investor to build a rail line to tap the copper mines that are ahead of us. Eventually, he did find somebody, and they built a line to a town up here that will pass at about 45 minutes, that was called Anita. Now, that's just, what?
I need a railroad.
No. He needed one, but that's just the name of the town. And he named after the president of the railroad's daughter. Now, the original rail line was called the Santa Fe and Grand Canyon Railroad. Santa built the top of copper mines in the area. However, Bucky O'Neill never got to see his dream come true of a train to the Grand Canyon. The Santa Fe, when they took over the railroad in the very early 1900s, about 1901, they completed the line to the Grand Canyon. However, Bucky O'Neill did not live long enough to see it. Instead, he joined Teddy Roosevelt's Rough Riders, and he went off to war in the Spanish-American War. At the Battle of San Juan Hill, a Spanish sniper was sitting in a tree overlooking the American lines as they got ready for battle, and saw an officer riding up and down the line getting the troops ready. He took the shot and killed the officer. That officer was Bucky O'Neill. The interesting thing, though, is that it hasn't happened in a long time, but there have been passengers who have come to get the attendant because they see a cowboy sitting in their seat looking out the window. And when they come back to bring the attendant back to ask who it is, there's nobody there. So it is said that Bucky O'Neill sometimes rides the train to enjoy it.
The ghost.
5,600 feet. Now, who here is from Arizona? Anybody? Anybody at all? Nope. Okay, so I'll let you guys know. You might know, but I'll say it anyway just in case. Usually, in the summer months out here, we have something called the monsoon season, which means heavy thunderstorms almost every single day, including the day of July 29th, 1916, where the storms were so severe that the Santa Fe canceled most of the trains for the day. Until that afternoon, when a train engineered by Dutch Oswald decided to try to make his way home from the Grand Canyon. If you look to the right side of the train in a few seconds, actually there it is right there, that little hill right next to our track is where our track used to sit on. Now, as Dutch Oswald brought his train to this location here, a huge thunderstorm ripped the sky open, and millions of gallons of rain and hail dumped over the region. Coming up ahead of us at milepost 36, there was a bridge called C-36. Now, so much hail fell from the sky, it began to clump up underneath the bridge. And one clump turned into 2, to 4, and 20, and they all started forming into one giant wall, a dam of ice. Now, those millions of gallons of water, and all the debris had washed away with it, had nowhere to go. And as you can imagine, millions of gallons of water is very heavy. All of that was also pushing on the bridge supports. Eventually, as the ice dam could not take the weight, it broke. And when it did, that raging river tore up everything in its path, including the bridge. And 4,000 feet of track were now swept away downstream as if they never existed. Now, Dutch Oswald was going slow enough that he could have seen that the bridge was out. What he could never have known, though, was that the abutment, or the piece of land the bridge is anchored to, was so waterlogged. As they eased the engine onto it, the ground could not take its weight. The track, the locomotive, and the ground slid into this raging river. Dutch Oswald jumped free. His fireman, however, was standing on the back of the engine, was thrown into the air, and then pinned between the locomotive and its tender. By the way, the bridge was right here. Now, Fred Terry would have been fine, except that a steam pipe within the boiler burst open and it sprayed him with scalding hot water. Dutch Oswald jumped back into this river, freezing cold water, and stayed with them half submerged for 16 hours. That is when a rescue train finally arrived from Williams. Unfortunately, by the time the train arrived, Fred Terry was gone. Now, in the old days of railroading, you would the reason why the track was placed here, you would think they would have learned that it was a riverbed. However, when they placed it here, they didn't realize it was a riverbed that flooded in the summer months. Eventually, after several of these wrecks, several thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in damages, and multiple lives lost in this region here, the Santa Fe raised the track up to where it currently sits right this very second. Now that does force our train to go slower. We have steep hills to climb and sharp curves to go around. But they discovered not only do they remove washouts, but just by raising the track up only a few feet, we actually removed 1.5 miles of track from the route. So instead of being 65 miles to the Grand Canyon today, it is 63.5. And I have had passengers say, when we pass the site of the wreck during bad thunderstorms, people have seen a badly burned figure standing there, and when they blink, he's gone. That's where I live. As you can see, people do not like me. They keep shooting at my house. That's actually what that is a section house. And that housed the crew that maintained the track in this area. There used to be about a dozen of them along our track, but that is the last one standing. Because, as technology got better, you did not need to have people stationed here 24/7 to keep an eye on the track. You simply had to send a high rail truck along the track to inspect it. But, because it is on our property, the railroad had to pay taxes on it. Why bother paying taxes on a building you're not using any longer? So they bulldozed them all down. That one remains because we want to show you history of our train, but we don't want to pay taxes on it either. So we discovered that the tax law states that if you have a building on your property that is unlivable, it is considered a ruin, and therefore you do not need to pay taxes on it. How do you make a building unlivable? Exactly. Now we did it in a very unique and special way. We got all of our co-workers together late one evening. We went into that building and we had the most epic of parties. Get it? Because we raised the roof. That is the last building left also in the town that used to exist there, called Apex. And as you can now see, our scenery has changed from the scrub brush of the lowlands, the flat prairie area, to the ponderosa pine forest, of which this is the largest in the entire world. This forest covers portions of 4 different states: Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah. And as you're feeling, we are slowing down here. That is also because we are about to enter Coconino Canyon. Coconino is an Indian word that means land of little water. We slow down because, as you're about to see, we're going to twist and turn through really, really tight corners and curves.
Hi guys, always wear a mask, even I don't like it.
Doesn't do any good, but wear your mask.
Because somebody complained.
Yes, we always wear this.
Always wearing it. So anyway, we're almost there to the Grand Canyon. I'm so excited to see the Grand Canyon. So look at the view. I guess it's almost 2 hours already riding the train, and it was fun. And we got a food snack. So anyway guys, I'm bringing you there and show you the Grand Canyon. See ya with Alma. Yes.
I could see her the whole time.
Hours later.
Look to the left side of the train. Look straight down the road, and you will see the Canned Canyon.
Canned green. Canned green.
And
Hi guys, we are here at
there
Grand
it is, the
Canyon.
Canned.
Like I said, we've been up in Colorado, nice and cool.
about?
Yep.
Well,
Hi guys. They're going down there. They have some wall going down there. So we're going there, babe. We're going down there.